Hi everybody, welcome to our video today, which is not only a welcome, but also a video meant to help you get started with your business. My name is Jessica Barrios. I'm an Executive Area Manager and Independent Consultant with Arbonne.
I'm Danielle Piper, Area Manager and Independent Consultant. So welcome to either the Piper or the Barrios area. We're so glad to have you on board.
And we're super excited for you. So congratulations. You have jumped in to something wonderful. This is going to be a great journey for you. And whatever your reason why, just know that you're going to grow and life is going to get better because of Arbonne. And we're just really happy to be here and help and support you in any way. So that's the point of today, is actually to help get you started and supported. One of the things that's really important to know is your success rides on you. It's because of you that you're successful. You have an upline, you have sponsors, people here to coach and mentor and train you like ourselves and others as well. But your success and what you do with this ultimately comes down to you because it's your business. And we don't hold on to your whys, you hold on to your whys. So your why you're doing this is what's going to pull you through and help you be successful. So just know that. We're here to help and support you, but your success rides on you, which is exciting. It's your own business. It should. The other thing to know is you do have a sponsor, a person who asked you and invited you to look into this business, and you also have an upline. Those are the people who help that person get started with their business. And our jobs are to coach, to mentor, support, and love on you. And you, though, have the decision to make at what speed and pace you want to take this on. Some people want to fly to the moon fast, and they have big reasons why. They have illnesses in their family, they have incomes they need to replace, they have debts, whatever it may be. So they go at a really fast speed. We're kind of like sprinters. And then there are other people who join this business and they kind of just put their toe in, and they're kind of just getting started, and they're not really sure where they're headed. And that's okay. You decide your pace, and our job is to run at that pace with you. Sometimes we may guide you and support you and say, oh, you do this a little bit different, and help you see things in a different light, but ultimately you're going to decide how fast you go with this business. But it's going to be partly your responsibility to let us know the speed you want to go at. We don't know what speed you want to go at unless you tell us, which is really important.
And one of our jobs, we like to say, is to help you become an independent consultant. Independent is the key word, as soon as possible. This is your business, but your upline has so many resources and have the experience to really help you know where to go. But like Jess said, your success rides on your shoulders. So the best thing for you is for you to learn where your tools are, where your resources are, so that you can be an independent consultant and not have to rely on us, so that you can say kudos to yourself as you're going through this business journey. So we're always here for you, but it's your own business. You're never alone. So keep that in mind. And also with your business, you're going to go through ups and downs. We guarantee it. We've been there. So one thing you did already is you did your whys. If you haven't yet shared your whys with your sponsor, and even the rest of your upline, if you want to. I love seeing people's whys, so feel free to send it up my way. I'm sure Jess as well, if you're in her area. This way, that when you're going through one of those downs, and that down might be you've heard no too many times in a row. That down might be you were really putting all your eggs in one basket, which you shouldn't do, and that one basket let you down. But you're going to have downs. They happen. So when that downtime comes through, it's nice for us to know why you're doing it. So we can say to you, hey, I know you're not coming on the calls, or I can see you're not in much activity. I just want to remind you of the reasons why you told me you wanted this business. Now, you might be the type of person who says, listen, when I'm down, I don't want you to talk to me. Let us know that too, so we can give you space. But we want to know how you want to be treated when you're in a downtime, because hopefully we'll be able to just shed a little light on it for you, give you a little motivation, and be able to get you back going, because we really want to help everyone here be successful. So what I mentioned was your action plan. You should have already done your whys, already started working on your 100-person list. So your whys are really important, like I said, for us to know about. So share them with your upline so that we can understand why you're doing this business. I can tell you personally, over the last year, there's been downs that have made me think to myself that I want to walk away from Arbonne. And what kept me here was knowing that what Arbonne's going to give me, I have 4 kids, and in 10 years, they're going to be starting college. And so in my mind, in 10 years, I can be at the top of this company making money that I would never be able to make in my career path as a marketing director here in Rochester, New York. So I'm going to be able to pay for college for my kids. I'm going to be going on vacations for my family of 6 that I wouldn't otherwise. And so during those down times, remembering my whys, being my 4 kids, my husband, and all the things I want to do for my family, it's able to make me say, you know what, I'm not going to find that somewhere else. Tough it up. Get through it. Pick up that phone and make another phone call. It's okay to hear a no. So we want to know what your whys are so that when you find those down times, we can help you through it too. The 100-person list, the reason why we're doing this is we're getting our business going. And part of getting our business going is letting everyone know. So the 100-person list, it's just a list. You don't even have to essentially talk to other people you put on the list, and you don't need necessarily 100 people to get the list going either. But the goal is any person you think of, write them down. I know that the UPS guy's name is Jim. Jim, UPS guy. Simple as that. Every single person you can think of. So when I was doing my 100-person list, I thought of my Uncle Butchie. And Uncle Butchie, never in a million years in my mind, would ever need Arbonne. I thought of my 98-year-old grandfather who buys protein shakes. Again, never in a million years would he need Arbonne. But I wrote down every single person that I could think of, because when you write down your grandma, you might think of her great niece who's an aerobic instructor, and this would be perfect for her, and you know she's trying to make more money while she's going to school. Or if you write down the UPS guy, you might know that his daughter is in 8th grade and his wife, I happen to know some of this stuff, and here in the district, and you might find a common ground so that you can share with him. And then when you talk to him about it, you're going to find out something about his wife that's going to make a connection for you. So just please write down everyone you can think of, and then after you write them down without judging them is when you look at your dream team, which Jess is going to talk about.
So dream team is really important. You saw this in your action plan, and you've read about it a little bit. And I just want to say, when I started my business, I didn't do a dream team launch. I was afraid. I was afraid that people would think I was trying to get them, and the people I cared about most would think I'm trying to sell them something and make them join some sort of business so I can live high in the hog and have a mansion. But that was really silly, because that really isn't what this is about. And now looking back, I really wish I would have done a dream team launch. And what you really do is you look at your list of people and you find those people that pop out, and they're your dream team. They're people you would love to do this business with, the people you know and would be great. And so then you reach out to them. You're going to tell them why you're doing Arbonne. You're going to tell them what you love about them and what made you think about them. You're going to share with them why you think they would be great at this. And then you're going to follow up with an ask. And you're going to ask them to hear about the business. And this is, you may say, but Jessica, I don't know anything about the business. That's okay. All you have to be is hope-filled and excited to share. And then a tool like us, your uplines, we become the tool that shares the information. And we'll talk a little bit about those tools specifically, but know that it's okay to feel a little uncomfortable. This isn't necessarily a fun place for many of us when we first start, because we're not really sure what we're getting into, and then you're asking your friends to look into getting into something you're not totally sure of yet. But know that all you're doing is sharing information and your enthusiasm and some hope. And then through that, you're going to grow a team from the beginning, which is powerful. Yes.
Piggyback on what Jess was just saying, the whole thing about feeling like what you don't even know what you're getting into, and now you're going to ask your friends if they have to get into it. If you decided to say yes to doing this, you saw something. Mm-hmm. You saw what we know, and it's the hope that Arbonne can change your life. And you can help change others by doing Arbonne. So Jess says, have hope, share hope. That's what you're sharing with them. What made you decide to say yes is what you're sharing with them and connecting with them on what it could do for their family. And that's giving them hope, and that's the most important thing.
And then based on that, quite honestly, you're going to be honest and you're going to be, sharing with them why you thought of them. And they're going to sit down and talk with you, most likely. And so when you do this, if they're local, you're going to do something we call a coffee date, or sometimes we call them a one-on-one. But you're going to get together with them. You're going to have an upline that's supporting you through this, and you're just going to share your hope and your enthusiasm and why you decided to do Arbonne and why you know it's going to help you. And then based on that, we share the information with them about the business. And it's not anything super complicated. Some of us make things complicated, but it isn't. This is really not complicated. And then once you do that, you know, you just follow up. We have a system for that as well, which is great. A one-on-one is the best way to share the business because you're face-to-face and people can feel your energy. They can see that you're hope-filled. You can be sincere and genuine about why you've thought of them. And so it's very simple. I pick up the phone, I call Danielle, I say, hey Danielle, it's Jess. I started this thing called Arbonne. It's a health and wellness company and they have amazing products and they're really healthy and I'm super excited. And I thought of you because I know that you are home with the kids, but I know you also want to get back into the work field, and I know you'd like to be able to contribute to your family again. And I see this as being something that you would be amazing at because you work hard and you care about other people and you want to help people. And that's what this is about. And I would love to just get together and share what I'm doing, buy you coffee or tea, and have you just hear about it and get your opinion. What do you think? It's as simple as that. You don't have to say a lot, but be genuine and share why you're doing this and why you thought of them, and then you ask.
And the same thing's going to go with if they're out of town. So you might have someone on your dream team that isn't local and you can't set up a coffee date with, but you're going to do the same thing. You're going to call them up. You're going to tell them what you started. I started Arbonne. It's a health wellness skincare company. Not sure if you've heard of it. I started it because. So you're going to share honestly why you started it. I started it because I have a desire to become healthier and I want to be able to share that with others. I started it because my family is a little short on income every month and this is what is going to be able to make our lives more comfortable. I started it because I work my tail off at a job that I enjoy, but I can't decrease the number of hours and I'm missing my kids' lives. Whatever your reason why you started it, you're going to tell them why you started it. You're going to tell them that you love them and the reason why you thought of them. So like Jess said, you know, and I thought of you because, and this is another place where you're just honest. I thought of you because you are a hard worker. You're a go-getter. I thought of you because I know you want us to be home with your kids and you can't be because you need income. I thought of you because you're living in a 2-bedroom apartment for your family of 5. Whatever the reason was that you really thought of them and that you love them. Because these are your dream team. These are the people close to you. And then you're going to say, will you just listen to what this business is all about? And chances are they're going to say yes because they love and respect you as well. And for your out-of-town person, you're going to say, great. What I'm going to do is set up a Zoom call. It's going to be online that we can plug in with somebody who does Arbonne with me that's been doing it longer and understands the business more than I do. Because right now I'm just doing it because I'm so excited and I can see a potential here. So let's set that up. Before you make the call, talk to your upline, find out a couple of days and times that works for them. So when you get them to say yes, you can say, let's set that up for either Friday night or Saturday morning so that you know that your upline is available and set up that call. But there's always a chance that you reach out for that coffee date, that one-on-one, or the Zoom call with your upline, and the person says, you know, I appreciate it, but I'm not comfortable with getting together with somebody else. I really have no interest in it. Then what are your options?
This is actually a really good tool. We have recorded Discover calls. And that's where a leader, usually they are an RVP or an NVP at the top of the business, gets on a call and records it. And they share the business opportunity. They're usually 20 minutes to a half an hour. This is great because it gives people an opportunity who are distant to you to listen. It also gives people an opportunity to feel in control because they decide when they listen and they don't have to engage. All they're doing is listening. So that may break down some of the barriers of discomfort for people and they may feel like, oh, okay, I can do that. I can listen to a call. The other beautiful thing about these recorded calls and why they are such an amazing tool is because they can be tailored to profession. So you may be talking to somebody who is a nurse, who loves her job but is overwhelmed and needs more time for her family. Well, then you can actually plug into a Discover call that is recorded, that is done by a nurse who has done this business and has kind of walked on that same life. Maybe you're talking with somebody who is a stay-at-home mom who's just looking for something different and needs something for herself. And then if that's the case, you can find a recorded call by a stay-at-home mom. Now, I was a teacher and a stay-at-home mom when I first heard of Arbonne. If I had listened to a call by someone who worked in corporate America in a Fortune 500 company, who was commuting to New York City every day and, you know, living this highfalutin life and very professional life, I wouldn't really relate to their story as much as the stay-at-home mom. So this is a valuable tool. When you know somebody and know maybe what their why is and why they need Arbonne and why it would be so good for them, then you can plug into these recorded calls. The important thing to do, though, is when you do that, you have them acknowledge they're going to listen to it. You also set up a time to follow up with them. And you want to have that kind of booked. Like, okay, you're going to, okay, do you think you could listen this weekend? Yeah, sure, I can listen this weekend. Well, then why don't we touch base on Tuesday next week? And then I can get your feedback and answer any questions. The last thing you want to do, guys, is send a recorded call to somebody who's amazing, who's a dream team person. Have them listen to a recorded call and then hunt them down. Be like, hey, did you listen to that call? I was just wondering if you listened to the call. Yep, I listened. Now what? Not fun place to be. And I'm going to be honest, I've been there. I've done that before with a recorded call, and it's awkward. Then you start feeling like you're pestering people. Ugh. So instead, it's like a date. You set up the date for them to listen, and then you set up a follow-up date. And it's nothing crazy, but it makes you feel so much more confident and comfortable and not like you're bugging people. You're just doing the follow-up. So that's really important. And if you need information on Discover calls that are recorded, we can, there's tons of resources.
Reach out to us. When you follow up, excuse me, there's two other things I just want to mention. If you are local, we have monthly meetings the first Monday of every month. That is a Discover presentation that you can bring guests to. We encourage you to bring guests to. We also do a ladies' luncheon once a month during weekday. So hopefully it will fit in if somebody is working, they can skip out for lunchtime, or if they're available during the weekday. So if you invite somebody to one of these events, or you have them listen to something, so you're not on a coffee date with an upline or Zoom with an upline, because the upline is going to kind of lead them through. But if you're doing this and you need to follow up, what we do is we have this scale, this 1 to 10 scale, to find out where people are at. So we'll say, you know, on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being, don't ever talk about Arbonne again with me, and 10 being like, sign me up, I'm going to be a consultant and go to the top right now. Where are you at? And then listen. And if someone comes around and says, I'm probably like a 2, well, you're going to know that they're not jumping on board today, but the next step for them should be to sample our product. So you're going to say, oh, I get it. It doesn't sound like this necessarily would be the right business fit for you, but I'd love for you to try some of our products. And these are people you know well, so you can either say to them, you know, would you like to try our skincare, our nutritionals, or maybe you know them enough to know that they work out all the time. And you're going to say, I'm going to get you our protein shake to start with. If they come back and they say, I'm a 5. So I normally say if there are 2 or 3, you know, get them samples. If there are 4 through 6, you might want to recommend them trying some products, get them samples, or maybe even hosting a little get together. And that's where you just say, well, you know what? Why don't you have a couple of people together, not a big party or anything, just a few people over. I'll bring the products. Everyone can try them, and you can see how I share the products, and then you'll get to try them yourself as well. Now, if they are like 7 or 8, they might be someone who's just, maybe you just need to connect them with somebody else for more information. So if they listen to just a recorded Discover and they're like, yeah, I think I'm a 7, then you could say, you know what, why don't we in 2 days get on the phone with my upline? Or why don't I send you over more information about this? Or say to them, what's holding you back from being a 10 right now? If they're a 7 or 8, they're really considering this business, and chances are once they get more information, they're going to do it. So I like to say, Jess and I were just talking about this last week, if someone comes back and they're a 7 or 8, well, what is it that you're concerned with? Find out, well, I haven't tried the products. How could I be a 10 if I don't even know if I like the products? Well, that's simple. Just have them sample. Or maybe, I'm not sure if I have the time. that's when you want to, make sure that they've heard that people do this full time, and you teach them how we can help them with their calendar. And that's when you're going to say, because you're brand new, let me connect you with my upline, because I know that most people do Arbonne have full-time jobs and they find a way to work it in the beginning. So let's talk with my upline so we can figure out how to work it in for you. Now, if they come back and they say they're a 9 or 10, then you are going to sign them up. You're going to say, go to my website, click on join, and fill out the information. And then I'm going to talk to my upline to find out what the next steps are. And I'm so excited we're doing this together, and kudos to you. So that 1 to 10 system is really going to help you figure out where people's at and know what step is good for them to do next. And you always, like I said, you always have an upline. And if someone tells you you're a 6 and you don't know where to go from there, you're going to say, that is great that you're a 6, because that means you're even considering it. I'm just going to reach out to my upline and then I'll get back to you tomorrow morning. Because the key with people is to set up the next step always.
You're really trying to do exposures, because we say in this business it's 6 to 7 to 10 exposures for most people before they feel comfortable and ready to do a business like this. So your job is really dating. You're just dating them, just setting them up with the next tool and dating them and touching base. And that's scale 1 to 10 is huge. It's a huge way to help you. So one of the things too that we talk about is critical to starting your business is a launch parties, we call them. I always use this analogy, and Danielle knows, but I always say, if you and your family were going to open up a pizza shop in your local town on Main Street, and you had a grand opening day on a Saturday, would you tell people? Would you advertise? Would you put balloons out? Would you ask all your family and friends to come? Of course. You want all of them eating a slice of your pizza and sharing in your excitement, your enthusiasm, so they can leave and come back and eat more and share and refer. So that's what we do. This business, we all get to decide how far and how much we do with it. But the thing to know is you have the potential to be earning a lot of money, a lot. I mean, we're talking surgeon salary and up. You have the potential to own a multi-million-dollar health and wellness business that's international. Okay, it's not a joke. This is a real deal. And because it's a real deal, you'd want the balloons, you'd want the enthusiasm, you'd want to invite people. So what we do is we say, okay, we're going to get some launch dates on the books, and you book 2 dates that work for you and your upline. The first launch party, your upline comes and supports and does for you and shows the way, and your family and friends, they taste and feel and fall in love with Arbonne. You also book your calendar from that. It's a great tool. You learn a lot. The second launch date for most of us is done on our own. Through some support. You always have that phone and upline there too, but it's usually done on our own. Most of us are ready to rock and roll after the first round. The other thing to know though is because you're having these events, you're gonna advertise, right? You're gonna invite people.
100-person contact
You're gonna
list.
come back to that 100-person list, and those people that weren't on the dream team that you've already contacted, you have a whole other group, right? What you're gonna do is you're actually gonna reach out to people. And you're going to look at those people, and you're going to know those people who are always giving, who always love to have a good time, people who host, people you've been to other events at their house, people who are really supportive of you, people who would host an event. And you're going to reach out to those people first, and you're going to ask people to host and fill up your calendar. Now, I always tell people, they say, oh, well, I can't do that many presentations. My life's crazy. Okay, I get it. Life is crazy. But if you think about this, the first 2 or 3 months of your business, if you fill your calendar up and you're busy doing presentations, something magical happens called momentum. What happens is you get preferred clients, you learn a lot about Arbonne, you get excited, you get
business builders,
you start growing a team, you start getting a bigger paycheck. And you start having more clientele, and you start building a business. And that momentum leads into all of those good things. Business partners, clients, reorders, events, bookings. And what happens for those of us that got busy in the beginning who said, I'm not going to do that much, but I guess I'll get busy the first few months. They promote, they get a bigger paycheck, and they're excited. And then they're able to say, okay, the first 3 months, 2 or 3 months, I was busy. Now I have so much going on. I got to figure out how to fit all this busy in. And it's not an issue. For most of us, it becomes a quality problem.
Yeah, it's a good problem.
It's a good problem to have. But reverse it. If you don't get busy, it stinks for most of us. Because then you're constantly going, oh, I got to fill my calendar up. Oh, I got to fill my calendar up. Oh, no, I have nothing on my events. I don't have any one-on-ones. I don't have any bookings. I don't have any presentations. If you book that first initial booking and get your calendar filled by those people you're asking to invite, and oh, by the way, they're excited for you because you're starting something new. Fast forward 6 months, when you've been doing it for 6 months,
It's not new anymore.
It's not new and exciting to your friends. They're like, oh, you're still doing that, huh? You didn't quit? It's awkward. It gets a little more awkward. Doesn't mean you can't reach out then, but take it from me. It's easier to do it in the beginning. So you do that. You ask them to host. Now, what if they say no? Do we cry? No. We have a plan. If they say no to hosting, then you invite them to one of your 2 launch parties. Okay? So you're going to find out a way. It's just like dating. You're going to find out a way to plug them into the next tool. The next tool will be your launch. And so you're going to start first by asking people to host because you're getting into a new network that way. And if they say no to hosting, then you're going to have them come to one of your launch events. And this is really important. Some of us have done it other ways, and it's harder to fill your calendar. It's easier to ask people to host, and then those who say no can come to your launch.
And the other thing is just saying about, you don't think you have the time to be busy enough, and just do it for your first 2 months. Just be busy because you're going to learn and you're going to feel momentum. That's true. So even if you're saying right now, I only have enough time to do 3 parties a month, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can choose that. It's your business. But we want you to feel what it feels like to be successful, and we want to get you to district manager in 1 to 3 months. So if you will do this just for the training, it's like you're training for starting your own business here. You'll do that just for like a training period and book 8 parties and get out there and tell your husband, I'm doing something new, or tell your wife, I know you don't like me being gone at night when I'm gone all day, but I just need the support just initially so I can feel what it's like and I can make it to the first level of management so I can start getting a paycheck that will make me feel like, wow, this is worth doing something. Just do that. And then if you decide, after you've done your first 2 months, you've done your parties, that you just want to do 3 months, well, it's your business. You can decide how much you want to work. But take it from us. We know for either doing it or not doing it that this is the best way to get started to help you learn, become independent, and start running your own business and making money doing it.
Growing a team. And the beautiful thing, I just was talking to somebody today about this really quick, Danielle, is that when you do this, you start to get out of your network of friends and family, and you start to go into what we call more of a lukewarm or a cold market. And so you're not asking people that you're emotionally attached to. Your events start becoming people that you don't really know. Like, you're like, what is her name again? And I contact that lady. What was her name? And that's because you got busy and started sharing Arbonne with so many people in that initial phase that you started branching out, and you're not having to just reach out to your sister or your neighbor. You're meeting new people, which is really important. It's fun. That's the fun part. That network of people that you didn't know until Arbonne. Oh, I love that part. I love it.
So we have a challenge for you. And our challenge is to get you busy. Our challenge is you have 3 days from whatever time you're watching this video, 3 days to book 10 appointments. And just so we're clear on what an appointment is, it can be a group presentation. So you've called up people and you've asked them to host. If they say yes and you put a date on your calendar, that counts. It can be a dream team, one-on-one or 3-way call. So you've called up someone, you've explained why you want them to hear about the business, they've agreed, and you've set either a 3-way call with an upline or you've set a one-on-one with them. It can be a one-on-one. So let's say you call up your girlfriend and you say to her, you want her to host. She says, oh, honey, I love you and I want to support you, but I'm not hosting for you. I said, that's fine. I want you to come to my launch party. It's on this day or this day. And she goes, we're out of town that week. You're not gonna walk away because, as we said before, it's always about setting the next exposure, next step. You're gonna say to them, okay, when you get back to town, you and I are sitting down for coffee, and I'm going to share Arbonne with you. And she's going to say, okay, of course. So say, well, I need to put that date on the books right now because I have a little incentive, and I want to make sure that you're going to count for that incentive for me. These are your close friends. You can be honest with them. And so you're going to set up a date and time for when she's back in town. So that's what we call one-on-ones, when you just sit down with one person and you share Arbonne. So again, your group presentations count for an appointment, a business builder coffee date or a flying call counts for an appointment, a one-on-one counts as an appointment. The other thing that we haven't mentioned yet that will also count as an appointment is if somebody, they're not a dream team, you've invited them to host, they won't host, you invited them to the launch party, they can't come, and you ask them for a coffee date to sit down, and they say, I don't have time, I'm so busy. You can say, okay, you are going to try this skincare. I'm going to drop off an RE9 sample to you. I'm going to drop it off this weekend. I'm going to leave it on your doorstep if you're not home. If I drop it off this weekend, will you use it this next week? If they say yes, say, okay, the next weekend, should I call you Saturday or Sunday morning to find out what you think of it? And you're going to set up that follow-up right then and there. So if you do a sample with a set follow-up, that will count as an appointment. So 10 appointments. It's not as hard as it sounds. You're just calling people and you're asking. And that's what this business is all about.
And it gets you into activity, which gets you excited. And it's a good thing. It's getting out and going.
And we're going to give you stuff for doing it. So you're setting your 10 appointments is really going to be what gets your business going. So you should do that whether or not we give you an incentive. But if you do that within the next 3 days, either reach out to us directly or talk to your sponsor and say, get a hold of Danielle and Jessica because I did it and I want my incentive. Because we have a cute little getting your business started kit that we've put together that we give to people that get going that quickly. 10 appointments, next 3 days.
Awesome. I love that.